The world according to Sloane. Being a ranger, one just knows. What really matters is solidly codified in language and conduct. They're buried underground now, these codes, so the pundits say it's all over. Outdated in the modern world. Nobody who knows the code believes that. What really matters is usually left unsaid. It comes across in a gesture, in the odd phrase. These are the things that really matter.
So in this Old Money series, we are reviewing the Sloane Ranger Handbook. Let me know if you've been able to track a copy down. It's quite difficult to find them. I think essentially the book is not in print anymore, so I had to scour the internet for it. So we are talking about what really matters to British Old Money and Sloane Rangers. And the first thing is going to be background. We touched on this a little bit in the Old Money book when we were talking about dating and marriage. And if you read the Old Money marriage book, we also touched a little bit on the class system and how education plays into that as well. Rangers are we people, not me people. They want to establish name, they want to establish rank and numbers when they meet people. I've noticed that since living in the UK, class is so much more prevalent. People care about what you wear, what designer, what school their kids are going to, etc. Whereas I found, especially when we read this Old Money book, the name dropping and the flashy things wasn't as prevalent. It actually was not good to do those things. Whereas through reading this book, they're saying you should be showing your signs of status in some way. But then it's interesting because if you go look at the history between Old Money and New Money, the Old Money people didn't like the flashiness of the New Money people. So to be honest, reading this book has been quite confusing, but I'm seeing that you can't read one official word on Old Money. There is going to be different opinions on it, and also depending on where you are in the world, you're going to see that flesh out in a different way. As always, I'm not saying that we should aspire to be Old Money. Number one, if you're not Old Money, you're never going to be Old Money. But I think within every culture, we can see certain characteristics, attributes, etc., and we can pick out the ones that are good, the ones that are moral, and apply it to our lives as well. Now, getting back to the Sloane Ranger Handbook, when Sloanes first meet people, they want to establish a connection, and these connections should be close. So they're going to ask about your family, they're going to wonder what school it is that you attended or your children are attending. They're going to want to size up what you do for a career or a job. Again, if you are following along on the etiquette series, you would know that these are typically not questions that are appropriate to ask, but within this little bit of society, these are all things that they're wanting to know because they are truly checking off a list and wanting to see how you size up. It's been really interesting since I've been reading this book because I've noticed when I come across maybe someone that is a little bit well-to-do and maybe a part of this circle on social media, I'll see they'll even have it in their bio section. Their kids go to this private school and this is what they do. And it's very much a bragging right type of flex.
Sloane Rangers hesitate to use the term breeding now. Of people, not animals. But that's what background means. Family is a magic word, as in royal. It means more than the sum of individuals. Rangers think blood and bloodstock in a romantic way. It's ancestor worship. They enjoy references to grand roguish great-grandparents. It's her bad Percy blood coming out.
So let's talk about the second thing that really matters to Sloane Rangers, and that is the past. Have you noticed how a lot of Old Money, they tend to like more antiques, they like really old things, perhaps things that you can't easily get your hand on? Sloanes love the past, which in turn means old things. This means old houses, old wines, old families, and old money. Rangers' favorite bit of the past was the 18th century, and they believe that things started to go wrong in the 19th century, coming up with something very politically incorrect. They believe the 19th century is when bad things started to come in. Industry, towns, and new money. Now, the third thing that really matters to Sloane Rangers is the aristocracy. Rangers love aristocrats. They believe that aristocrats prove that everything is worthwhile. And here's the thing, all Rangers believe that they're connected somehow, some way to aristocrats. And of course, by proxy, the royal family. They believe that royalty is what holds this whole thing, this whole concept, this whole way of life together. Is this giving you a little bit of perspective between the old money book, Secrets to America's Upper Class, and how the British do it? I would love to know if you track this book down and if you're following along on this series with me, and your comments, because there's a lot to unpack here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.